Well, that was good. But how many
Ready?
people did?
February 20th,
Right.
2021, 7:01 p.m., second council meeting of the month. We get started. Call to order. Mr. Sean Brain, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Blankenship. Joseph. Here. Genselmore. Here. Steiner.
Here.
Godwin. Conroy. Here.
All right. Our next item on the agenda is a presentation by Mr. Sean Brayman of Northwest Schools Superintendent. And we do have a microphone up here. This is broadcast out, so I find people online can hear better if we use the mic. And you want to take it off there and walk around, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have much of a presentation. I know you guys were probably hoping for like a half-hour thing about the, but it's only going to be like a few minutes. So, but thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to come in. Marissa, thank you for making this happen. We appreciate that. So, yeah, what we wanted to do tonight, I have with me Deborah Clark. She's our curriculum director, and also Steph Faithless, our treasurer. And we've been going around to different groups really for the last month. It seems like a lot longer than that, doesn't it? We've been going to a lot of groups and just talking about the fact that we are looking to renew the 1% income tax on earned income for the levy. We wanted to make sure that everyone understood this is March 19th. We're trying to be very transparent about that we are looking to pass this on March 19th, and just trying to let people know that the opportunity is there. We feel that our school district, what we're trying to do, really our focus for renewing this levy, it's threefold. The first thing is for student programming, looking to improve student programming and learning opportunities K through 12. That goes from expanding elective opportunities at the high school to developing more STEM or STEAM opportunities that we are doing very well right now in all four buildings, but we'd like to expand that and have that grow. We'd like to look at foreign language opportunity growth. We just started doing American Sign Language, and that's taken off. You wouldn't believe that, American Sign Language, but that's really become quite popular in our school district. So we're looking to continue doing those things, continue the opportunities for growth. This renewal is all about opportunities for our kids, first and foremost. Second thing, we're looking to attract and retain the best possible teachers we can find. I'm very proud to say that our last few years, our test scores have been through the roof. We were ranked 13th in the state a couple years ago. We were ranked #1 Stark County. Every time I bring that up in front of other superintendents in Stark County, they get this 1,000-yard stare look in their face. But we were #1 in the county. Last year, we were one of 3 school districts to have a 5-star rating. We have done things, and really I give Deborah a lot of credit for that. She always looks away and gets very embarrassed when I bring it in, but she does an excellent job working with our instructional coaches, working with our teachers, our tutors. They do an excellent job. It really comes down to student performance. We have a great community that includes the people throughout the entire community, and we have done very well. We want to continue doing that. So the unfortunate thing for us is that we lost 11, you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong, it's 11 teachers in high school last year. 8 of those teachers were chasing more money opportunities. We lost 24 total K through 12. So part of this renewal is the opportunity to retain those teachers. We don't want to lose any more than we've done. I mean, if you keep losing teachers, sooner or later, your test scores are going to fall, right? You know that's going to happen. That's natural. But right now we have a lot of great things happening. So that's the second reason. Third thing, for facility improvements, people still say, hey, we've got the new high school and we've got the new building, and really that was built 20 years ago. It's not so new anymore, but we have a lot of things planned around our campus that, quite frankly, cost money. We want to be able to keep those improvements made so our kids are safe, the learning opportunities remain, and that's what we're looking for. So we're very proud. I think I feel very lucky to be part of such an awesome school district that is supported by the community, where our kids, quite frankly, I've been in a couple different districts. I've been in Chippewa, as I was talking earlier, but our kids are second to none. I mean, they are amazing. I'm amazed by them every single day I'm around them, and that has everything to do with the community itself, with the parents who have raised them. I mean, you know, nothing's perfect, but we've got it pretty good, and it's pretty close. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to thank you for just listening to our need. We'd like to renew that income tax, 1% income tax on earned income only. It's the same as what it has been. So for retirees out there, if there are any that ever listen online, that would not impact them. We can still support the school district with their vote without impacting their savings. So we really appreciate that as well. Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate, I mean, to tell you, and I watched, I mean, I think I'm driving down that road even back in the 80s, and I watched that go from almost nothing to the big campus you have out there now. Is you have an impressive school. And even your band area, that had been there to borrow some equipment, not me personally, but a group. And you guys have some good stuff there.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And I mean, I have the list in the packet I gave you. You can see the things that we have accomplished, and just my short time, and certainly has almost, I assure you, it has almost nothing to do with me, but there are many, many great things that have happened throughout the district in the last few years as a result of the community support. And we want to keep that, we want to keep that moving. We're really hopeful and feel good about our direction. We want to just keep moving it in the right direction.
Do you have this information like on a website or something there people could go to?
Yes, sir, Mayor. We do. We have on our website, the very first page, if you were to go on our website, you'll find two things you can click. You can click on and find the question and answer section, and it brings up this packet. We update it frequently. Steph also has been kind enough to put graphs on our finances, our financial situation, trying to be very transparent about that. You can see where every dime goes and how that money is divided up into. We have one big pie and where all that money goes, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I understood it, so anybody can understand that. But if you ever have any questions on that, in my packet, my cell phone is there. You can call me anytime on the website. You can access my cell phone. You can call me and say, hey, I want to have questions. I'm going to sit down with Steph and talk about finances, or Deborah about curriculum, or all three of us, and we'll make time for anybody in the community who might be watching and listening out there, or for any of you. Anytime, come in and sit down. And, we've done that quite a few times over the last few years, and we'd be happy to do it again.
Open to questions?
Sure.
I used to chair the finance here with a levy, especially a permanent levy. Those are fixed dollars. On renewed levies, those are at the time of its passage. But with an income tax, it's going down or going up depending on income. Canal Fulton has seen a huge increase in median income. And in the village, we've seen increase there as well, but we get asked, what are we doing with those extra dollars? That may be detailed in here, but passing a 1% today is an increase from what it was in 2010, 2014, 2019, thankfully. You don't want to see decreases, but curious as to what more we can expect, or is this just maintained?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we have because we've been, I guess, boy, how do I start from the beginning with that? We went through, if you guys are familiar with our school district, we had very, very lean times where we could pass levies, and we were really.
And that was 2010.
Yes, and that was the first time.
Yep.
The income tax was passed, and we began to change the fortune, the community changed the fortune of the school district. So before that, we did a lot of belt tightening. Now, over that time, we still, it's almost like, my grandparents lived through the Depression, and when they, when I came along, I didn't have any idea about the Depression, but I do remember them living in a very, very frugal and careful manner. Well, that's kind of like what we went through as a school district. We lived through very tough times where we had a lot of belt tightening, and as a result, we continue to be very, very careful with our money. Well, as a result, now today, you combine that with some of the federal money that we've received through COVID with the ESSER funding, we have a lot of carryover. And what we'd like to do with that carryover is use that for facilities and to not just maintain them, but actually help grow. We're talking about doing some things, having some growth with our high school, where we're looking at having a greenhouse for the science curriculum. We're looking at having a weight room to make that the one.
Would that include plans for the property just purchased as well?
Part of that, yes, and that's all
Okay.
the plan. So part of that is having the actual growth of the school buildings. Also, we're talking about doing some developing with the land that was purchased to enable us to have more safety routes developed in case there is a situation where that's needed. So, yeah, we do have plans to use that carryover money, but the 1% income tax is really more about maintaining what we already have.
Okay.
So that's,
Now,
I'm kind of giving you a double-edged answer there, but that's.
So we did some quick number crunching here. We've seen like a 33% increase in our income tax in the last 6-7 years. That's a third. So that's a big difference in money coming into the school. That's
Yeah, that's we're very fortunate for that. So let me add on to that what things for you to consider. You know that since COVID, the price of everything has exploded.
Absolutely.
So that has impacted the things that we do within our school district as well. That plays a role in what we're doing and why we're pursuing this renewal. And even beyond that, oh shoot, I just lost my second thought.
the other thing that was interesting to me. Canal Fulton has seen a 45% increase in household median income, and ours is single digit. So I don't know where that's a huge number to be up 45% in median income. But it's shockingly low. It was 48 and now it's 71. It's almost like it was missed before. That number doesn't seem right to me, but.
I haven't looked into that.
One of the things we've noticed is we've had a lot of families move in.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of seniors shift to other types of housing, and so the houses that are selling are coming in with young kids or 2 or 3, and so they might have been a
multi-income
before, and now both parents are working, and so
that makes sense.
Changed up some things for them that we're seeing, and like we're being told some families want to come in, but they have to wait until a house becomes available because they're getting outbid or they can't find their way.
Sure.
So.
No, and what that tells us that we're doing the right
Probably
thing.
more kids.
Yeah, when we're doing the right thing. I mean, there have been a lot more requests for people who are enrolling their kids and who are trying to find ways to move into the community somehow, some way. So that bodes very well.
What is a graduating class now?
The number?
Yeah.
This year, I think it's going to be, give or take, around 130. It's an average of about 130.
Okay.
120.
And I graduated in '89 at Northwest, and it
What were the numbers?
was like 240.
We have.
But we were the second biggest class at the time to graduate from Northwest.
We have pockets, like we have some classes where there's 170 and 180, and then we have a group right now at the Simpson building that there's only 114. We knew it was coming that way because we saw what birth records were showing us, so it's just, there's some fluctuation. That was also a time right when
Was that 2008?
yes, when the money was tight.
That was, yep.
Yeah, no.
It was that high?
Doing that. They were just not having children at that point
Oh,
because
okay.
of.
The numbers right now, it looks like K through 12. We've looked at it a couple times. It's around, I guess, an average of about 125, 130. Some are up, get up a little, but not like yours.
Yeah.
Other thing to consider too. So, and I came back to that point. So we were talking about, retaining and hiring the best staff possible. For a very, very long time. That money that has grown. Well, I'll be honest with you. What we've done is, not paid our staff, and so we've
Right.
lost a lot of staff. So we're looking to do that within reason too. I mean, we're looking to find ways to, I'm not gonna say that, hey, let's throw money at the problem, that'll stop it, but that's certainly part of it. So for a very long time, you know, we've ranked number one, the last 4 or 5 years in the county, we're ranked 17th out of 17. Can I say that? 16 out of 17.
In payroll.
And we're teacher pay, with starting pay, average pay, and pay at the end. So, you know, teachers say, hey, look at this, we're kicking rear end here with our test scores, and we are at the absolute bottom of the county. So we're taking some steps to correct that situation. Now, obviously, we're not going to be like, hey, we're 17th, let's go to number one, you know, but we want to do it in a thoughtful and a responsible manner in a way that's tied with the sensibilities of what the community would want, but we also want to be able to attract the best teachers possible and retain them and keep them.
Sure.
We lost a lot of people that, you know, going to Hudson, going to Copley, and we're losing them to, and we know that we're not necessarily going to be able to compete with that ever, but we can make it a little better, and people love teaching here.
Mhm.
And we, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so, that's good, thank you for saying yes to that, but,
Well, yes.
yeah, we do want to make that situation a little nicer, a little better.
Just a little background. At times, I sense maybe a frustration with the board, school board in Northwest with Clinton in voting for levies and income tax. And
Yeah.
when you go back to look at that, in 2010, you passed your 1%, and then in 2011, we, the village, passed a 1%. So we went from a community that had 0 income tax to 2% income tax. And there's no forgiveness clause in Clinton, because if we had a forgiveness clause, we'd have no income because everybody works outside the community. And that's the same case with the school income tax. There's no forgiveness clause because you're like us, you need the money. But as a community, we went from 0 to 2, and at times we struggle to position how things are different from when it was 0. Right, our fire department is a constant effort. Our police protection, we used to have our own police department, now we don't. And in the future, it puts us in a bad spot as a community if we're at 2% now, and we needed another 0.5% or another 1%. We're going to be one of the higher tax communities, and we don't have any services. We don't have sewer. We don't have water. We don't have police. So we have to be careful with
Of course.
our taxing situation here.
Of course, and I will tell you that we don't ask this lightly, and we understand that even though income does tend to, it has gone up for the school district, certainly. The 1% income has been something that has saved the school district, no question about that. We're not being careless in asking for this, and we're not. What we do is take it, we take every decision we make very carefully, particularly with finances, in particular with what we do with our product to prepare our students. So we understand the sacrifice that every community goes under when they're supporting their public schools, and we appreciate that, and we're thankful for it. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you understand that money is not going to waste.
When we implemented our income tax, we had trouble getting that on people's paychecks because the payroll systems account for 2 income taxes. So Northwest, you got in front of us with an income tax, so that was one. And then you had the community that whoever was working in, let's say it was Akron, was there. And then you had a 3rd income tax, and there was no way for payroll companies to put the 3rd on. So then at the end of the year, when they had their taxes done, they owed us, or Rita, a lump sum of dollars. And to this day, some of our residents struggle with that.
Has that been remedied, or is that?
No.
Okay.
So a lot of our residents then have to pay a lump sum at the end of the year to Rita, where the other taxes, where they work in the Northwest, because they were first, are taken out of their paycheck.
I didn't realize that.
So that it may happen. It may happen with you, Marissa, since you live in Clinton, and you probably pay Canal Fulton and.
But Rita you know, they give you an opportunity to pay quarterly as well.
Yes.
So there really is an issue, and no, my Clinton.
It's just clunky for that third.
It can be. It can
That
be.
third one.
I can understand that.
But here, what I always fall back on when it comes to school levies, before I lived in Clinton and when I lived in well, back then it was not New Franklin, it was Franklin Township. But I didn't have any children then, but I always voted for the school levies because my mother set that example. Because, you know, we were all grown up and out of the house for many years, but every time there was a school levy, she supported it, and her reasoning behind that was another woman, another widow in my position supported my children all those years. So I'm going to support the next generation. And so it's an investment in our future, the community, not Clinton as well as Canal Fulton. But, you know,
I don't disagree. My comments are just pointing out that we need to leave some bandwidth for the Clinton community for when sewers get here. If we take all the bandwidth up with taxes, we're going to have nowhere to go when sewers come here.
No, from what I understand, sewers aren't coming here, but that's a whole other.
Understood.
I think,
But the bandwidth, we got to have somewhere to go for the future improvement.
No, I think Mr. Steiner made a debate. I spent, when I was in the corporate world and the income taxes came in for this area, I think I fought with our payroll department for about 3 years to get, so we deducted from my pay instead of paying end of the year quarterly. I was paying quarterly for a while. But the reality of it is, if you have to pay a lump sum, even quarterly it could be lump sums, that's noticeable. Where taking out of your paycheck is not noticeable. You don't think about it, and you know everybody looks at the refund they get back. They don't notice it coming out throughout the year. So
I live in both, right?
Yeah.
I live where I live now, it's with income tax. You don't notice that as much. I still notice it, but you don't notice it.
Right.
But hey, you do what you gotta do to support the school, so.
All right.
Well, that's awesome. You guys are number one in academics, and
Very proud of that.
I brag every chance I get. I recently went to a Jackson basketball game, and I let my
Let 'em
Jackson friends know. Exactly.
Do they give you the 1,000-yard stare like I was? Every time I bring that up, it seems like the room gets really quiet, you know, but it feels pretty.
You're right, because they don't know that, right?
Yeah.
As time marches on, they will.
What we have noticed is that very quietly, people will start asking us questions like, hey, what are you guys doing, right? I mean, we've all gotten that where they pull us aside and say, okay, I see what's going on, and what are you doing? And again, I always say, I'm not doing anything. I show up to work every day. It's everyone else that's putting, you know, it's the teachers doing it every single day. It's these guys working their behinds off. But really, it's the community and the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the students and the work they've done. And we have a great group. I mean, K through 12, I see them every day, and they're amazing kids. So I feel very lucky to be around such an awesome group.
It was funny this past year when those all came out. If you know the structure of the districts in the county, there's always the big and the little.
Right.
And the little. And of the top three he was talking about, two of us would fall in that category of little. And so some of the bigs were going,
Do you want to say who those bigs are? I'm just kidding.
no. And I was just like, I'm sorry, we've just been consistently, you know, providing this and doing this and curricular materials and, you know, and they were like, oh. I'm like, not rocket science, but it's just like following a curriculum pattern that's where we're renewing our stuff, we're replacing it, we're training the staff, we're making sure they know the stuff, and we're not just assuming they know it. We're ensuring that they know it.
Well, it is noticed. That's awesome.
That is awesome. And to speak to your point about, I've never noticed the frustration from our school board. If that's something that you've perceived or you've heard or seen, I don't get that. I view this, and it's very important to me to view this as, you know, we have all these different communities working as one. But in my mind, it's.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. That's good.
Sure.
Anybody else have any questions, comments for Mr. Brennan?
I got a dumb one.
Okay, all right, well,
These-
one done, one in each.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave mine copy here for any resident that,
I've got extras too.
okay, we'll leave some here in the office. And we also have a link on our village website to Northwest. So if they can't find Northwest's website, you can always go to our village website and follow the link and take you right there as well.
Thank you for that.
In some communities in the school zone, they will post the times, it's 20 miles per hour. I've come home late at night and that light's flashing, which we know.
Still that late at night?
But my point is, if we could just get a sign on there that says from 7 to 9.
Okay.
Because sometimes I drive through there and I'm like, was the light on or not? And then I slow down and then I have traffic on me and I'm clueless.
I'll take care of it tomorrow.
It's weird because it's 7 to 9 and then it's 2 to 4. But in the middle of the day, we also have it because of the preschool run.
Okay.
When the buses are running to take the kids, so like 11:30 to 1.
And maybe there's an answer why you can't do that, but
At night it's flashing?
that's been a long time. But
Okay.
my point is, it seems random to me. It doesn't
Okay.
seem consistent those times. In other districts, I've seen right on the 20-mile-an-hour school limit sign, it'll have the times. It's posting the times that's 20 miles per
Usually
hour.
those, they have the times, they don't have the lights
Yeah, because
typically.
by law, if
Yeah,
you don't have the
okay.
lights, you have to have the times. But if you have the lights, you don't have to have the
Well, that's
times.
not my question either. I'll check out the, and just make
Maybe we could have both.
Yeah, and
And
I noticed Monday, I went through there and I was doing 20 and somebody else said I was going 20, which almost never happens anyways, but it did, and I realized, wait a minute, there's no school today, the lights are blinking.
yeah, you can't turn them off and on, but the other thing we've done is the big sign, the electronic sign now. Because if you're like, pulling out anywhere on campus or further down, you may not notice because you can't necessarily see both ends. So it flashes when it's the time that it's the school zone, it flashes bright red.
Yeah, I saw that.
Police band, so that people, if they're in the middle, see it kind of going,
Yep.
oh.
Well,
Slow down.
I'll give you a quick side note. I used to just in the mornings ride my bike around the block, which is about 3-4 miles. I'd come through the school zone, come up that hill, and I'd purposely ride through there. I'd be pedaling up 21 miles an hour. I watch all the people pass me. It's like a school zone. You should stay, I'm speeding. You should be.
I was surprised, I mean, they are, we've seen quite a few people get pulled over.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Typically, people follow that 20 miles an hour because they'll get
But-
you.
No, but if they see a bicycle, they think they have to pass because you're slow. And I actually was going over 20 on the bike. So.
Well, listen, thank you again. I just want to remind you, March 19th, if you can tell, family, friends, everyone, they could think about supporting the school. If they have questions, they can contact us anytime. We're happy to answer and sit down and talk through more of this. But really, we'd like to see that support on the 19th, and we just appreciate your time tonight. So
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming out here. And did you have either one of you to have more to add, Steph? Okay.
They just like hanging out with me.
All right. You guys filled out the form and had marked yes. I just wanted to make sure. So, all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for entertaining my question.
No, sure. Thank
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
Oh, and don't feel as though you need to stay because,
I've got a boys basketball game. I'm gonna watch them.
there you go.
Good.
Yeah. That's why we put you at the top, so you didn't have to
Go to all the-
endure.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. Has anybody noticed that we haven't approved the minutes yet?
Well, it's because it's next on the agenda,
I know.
and it's okay.
No, I'm fine. I just realized the use that comes like very beginning, but this is cool. This is really good. I think we got a lot of really good information.
Yep.
So, and these will be out. I'm going to put my others, those extras out there for people to stop by and look at. So I need a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Correct. I noticed something in the minutes, actually. A motion that we approve the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any questions, comments, deletions, additions? Call for the vote.
Joseph,
Aye.
Dinsmore,
Aye.
Steiner,
Aye.
Conroy.
Aye.
Solicitor monthly report, he's not here. Fiscal officer's report.
I don't have anything this evening.
Any questions, comments for our fiscal officer? All right. Any unfinished business? Okay. Mayor's communications. I'd like to start off with, I do have an application here for Brandon Miner, who would like to join our fire department. He comes very highly recommended from our fire chief. If we could get a motion to approve. I don't know, Wayne, did you want to say anything?
I haven't got a background check done on them.
Shall we wait?
Upon approval.
Yeah.
Background check.
Okay.
A motion to approve
Brandon Miner.
the hiring of Brandon Miner upon, completion of background check.
I'll second it.
All right, any questions, comments? All right, call for the vote.
Dinsmore,
Aye.
Steiner,
Aye.
Conroy.
Aye.
Joseph,
Aye.
Okay, mayor's communications. I attended the Emergency Management Executive Committee last week. Maybe it was this week. I don't know, sometime recently. And there's a couple big items there. The biggest item, of course, was the solar eclipse. I know I keep bringing this up, but boy, more and more information keeps coming in. Remember I told you to get your glasses, Amazon? They actually are available out there. I can't wait to use those. But anyways, there's some notes out there. Eileen Shapiro was at this meeting, and the first recommendation is stay home. Don't go out. It's probably the biggest event of our lifetime, so it's a quandary there. Yeah, stay home because there's going to be lots of traffic, lots of visitors. There's a lot going on that you're safer off the road. But however, we know people are going to want to get places they can see it. The Spaghetti Warehouse, I think, is hosting an event. Most of the survey went out with to all the mayors, and I'd say over half of us are doing nothing that day as far as communities go. It's interesting. Some are sponsoring events. The City of Akron Metro, you'll have free rides that day on the Metro bus. So if you want to park somewhere where you can ride the bus out to the event. Spaghetti Warehouse are having their parking lot, which I found interesting because Spaghetti Warehouse parking lot is right along the Canal Towpath Trail, which goes right by us here in Clinton. So I'm planning on riding my bike up there. It's only 10 miles, and you can see it. It'll be late, 3, 4 o'clock. You'll be done. You can make it home. 10 miles in about an hour is an easy thing to do. So it keeps you off the road, and you can still see it. Get your glasses though. What?
I'll be at work.
You guys are. I should have asked him. Call a school like everybody else is.
I do that.
All right.
Well, a lot of schools have canceled at school that day. Maybe they'll still consider it, but.
Okay. The one thing that everybody is preparing for, everybody in this area through this 130-mile band going across Ohio and the country, is they are preparing for more traffic congestions. We're going to see a lot of that, or they are. The hospitals are preparing for more eye injuries. Mm-hmm. Another reason, get something to look through, because you will get retina damage if you try to look at that when it happens. So, Donna Scotus says stay at home, but she also understands this is a big event. So whatever you plan to do that day, I know the solar eclipse I've seen, they've been fantastic. You don't get to see them all the time. This is the biggest one we're going to have in about 100 years. So that's it. The other thing I got out of that, there's one more item which I found fascinating, is in emergency management where they were called out. I'm not going to say where in Summit County, but it was in Summit County because a 14-year-old had radioactive material. And what was impressive about that, first of all, we were all shocked that a 14-year-old could get that. But they did, when they met this kid, he was very bright, extremely sharp, and he was actually telling them about it. Obviously, they confiscated the radioactive material, but he was experimenting with it, and he's probably going to be some great scientific team someday. So,
His name's Sheldon?
So yeah, so I guess the bad news is we had something like that in Summit County. The good news is we've got a very, very bright individual in Summit County. So our future looks really good.
Well, it's concerning that someone of anyone could get a hold of that.
I'm not going to tell you how, but I found out.
I don't want you to tell me how,
No.
but it's like, okay.
But it actually,
14-year-olds also get guns.
yeah. Well, it's actually easier to get radiation than you think. From what I learned there, I could not believe it. So
Okay.
it's not as tough as
Okay.
maybe he had the powers of DeLorean. I don't know, but so that's all I have. Council communications and council committee reports.
Sorry.
You get a start. Just for that.
Okay. Did you call?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay.
If you're paying attention to making jokes, yeah, you would got
Whatever. Okay, so we had a community development meeting at 6 o'clock. We discussed the suggestion from New Franklin Police that we put a citizens complaint form on our website. And so we reviewed that, and we also, another concern would that go beyond our expenses for a contract with our web manager? And so it won't be a cost to us because we have 2 revisions per year under him. So the committee voted to recommend to council that we have a concern page put on our website, a link that our residents can click on. The page will come up, they can fill it out. So at this time, I motion to council that we vote to add a report a concern page to our website for our citizens.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments?
Will we do other updates to the website then? I didn't see our committee meetings on there yet or our updates.
We're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
They're slowly being added.
Okay, awesome.
And that's another thing that I'm going to
I'm sorry.
address with him is the updating the calendar. That should repopulate automatically, I would think, when the new year happens, but I'll reach out to him when I
Thank you.
go with that as well. We also, I think, Matt, you and I had discovered, and then we had a few residents complain to me about not being able to find the codified ordinances easy enough. And so we're going to ask him to go ahead and put, on our front page, it has the quick access thing. So we're going to go ahead and ask him to go ahead and put a quick access button right there on the front page as well.
Awesome.
Um,
I like that.
Okay.
So then we also discussed.
Well, wait a minute. We have a motion.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments on the motion? Call for the vote.
Steiner?
Aye.
Conroy? Aye. Joseph?
Aye.
Dunsmore?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next.
Okay. So then, I think update the calendar. Sorry, I thought I turned that off. We discussed Memorial Day, whether any changes should be made, whether we should try to promote it more, or anything like that. But if anybody has any suggestions about Memorial Day, let us know. But if you know anybody that can donate a basket to the Historical Society's raffle, And the Historical Society always needs volunteers. Go ahead and contact Diane Gunner for volunteers for anything. And as far as the program, the ceremony over at the cemetery or the parade, go ahead and contact me. Then we also discussed starting to do activities around in the village. So one of the things that our actual fiscal officer had suggested was a movie night. And so we're going to look into the liability as far as insurance, and then get the all of the parameters around what it would take to put it up the screen and licensing for a movie, and then just, so we might be able to do a couple movie nights, maybe sponsor or have somebody do an event maybe once a month on the greens. Just trying to use our facilities a little bit more and create a little more community within our village. So that's what we did there. Another reminder, please. I need articles by the February 27th. I've already got the mayor's article. So if you have anything that you would like, if we want to maybe talk about considering the fireworks thing, if you want to put that in an article, that would be great. Or anybody else has something that's going on in your committee. I reached out to Kevin and see if any kind of stuff for streets, parks coming up, maybe we could put something together there. I've already reached out to zoning, so let me know.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else under council communications and council committee reports? Next up, line citizens comments. Did you change your mind? Okay. Glad you could make it here.
Going again, a second, you sure?
All right, well, you have another second. No, okay. All right, resolutions, ordinances. Typically, you just read what we got here.
The resolution number R-24-01, a resolution authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, 2024 Energized Community Grant.
I'll just mention on that, so we have just over 3,200 to request a reimbursement from them from 2023's grant for our radar sign up there. I can't request it till we pass this, but we are getting another 2007-22 for 2024.
What's that number again, please?
2007-22.
Why less?
It's based on the number of residents that have no pet.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
we obviously had some people opt out,
Okay, understood.
which,
Happens.
yeah, so it fluctuates, but
Okay.
part of that 3,200 that I can request, 295 of it is from 2022 that we didn't use.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that far off.
Thank you.
Could we use the grant to get more solar signs?
Mhm. That was our original thought, was to get, we have the one coming down,
Sure.
and then with this 2024, get one going up. So the sign cost us $3,400, the last sign.
So we
So-
funded 200.
We funded 200, yeah. We would have to fund 600 to do the other sign, to go up.
Well,
this
I
would
mean,
cover
we
most
could
of
use
it.
one maybe in a different part of the village too.
Yeah.
I would like them on more than one place.
That road seems to be the biggest contention right now, and I found going uphill seems to be bigger contention than going downhill.
Well,
So
how about Cleveland Maslin? They
Right.
fly up and down that road, so why can't we
Yeah.
put one there?
I mean, we could put one downtown, we could put one on Cleveland Maslin, we could put one on South Cleveland Maslin, we could put one on Hickory for, we could use them all over the village. So if we already have one on one road, and if we can get the funding to do another one, let's look at what is the next what is the next road with they're all a problem, right? Anybody that lives on any one of those roads is gonna tell you my road's is worse. But if we can actually maybe figure out which one is in more dire need, and go pick them off one at a time. And then maybe we can look into, see if, there's any other types of grants we can get for using solar signs. Would that be a possibility, maybe? I mean,
Oh, yeah, I mean, one sign, you know, as the old saying goes, the Village of Clinton wasn't built in a day, so.
well,
Yeah.
I understand that.
But no,
Yeah, there
yeah,
might be other grants out there, right?
Okay.
I do like that sign up
We can
there.
find.
I would like to see future signs to, I don't know if that one does this stuff, but to like be able to have data sheets we can get printed out of them.
That
Or-
one does not.
Yeah, that one does
You're
not
looking
have
at
that.
probably
That's
double the
big
cost,
bucks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
at least.
But it would be nice to know what you know, find maybe
I mean,
the worst places.
Those carts are like $15,000.
Yeah, and they do have they do keep the data
Right.
inside them, which was a surprise when we first started using them. Okay, one thing is resolution is not mentioned, this is the first reading. Typically they're marked first, second, third down. That's unusual, it's not there, so we'll see it.
Okay.
All right, new business.
This is just, I think it would probably have to be for Parks and Parks Department, but, if we could look into doing something about the Canadian geese, terrorists that we have down at the
There was
pond.
about 50 this morning when I
Ye-
came in.
yeah.
They were everywhere.
And they are such a nuisance. I can't imagine they are not contaminating our pond and even contaminating.
Get rid of them, they all came over here.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Now, they added the eggs.
there is an update.
I know they do the eggs, but that's not enough, because there's just so many of them. It's disgusting to try to walk on the sidewalk. I know there's communities that do stuff to get rid of, like, where my sister lives, her condo association, they have these dogs come out and scare them off. It costs, I don't know how much, but we need to look into something, because they are such a nuisance.
So Luna Lake update.
Yeah.
We did the dogs for 2 or 3 years. As soon as they left with the dogs, the geese came back, right? So it didn't work. We've tried spraying the lawn with something that makes the grass taste bad and gives the ducks indigestion. That didn't work. Our latest was the controlled hunt. Remember our
Right.
president came here and asked,
Right.
and what we found was that Luna Lake geese have already left to go south, and what we had was other geese come from the north. So we're effectively shooting geese that are going away in the spring, or anyhow. You have to get the geese that are born there. When they're born there, they come back there. So that's
Like
the key
right
to it.
now.
You have to get them when they're born, right? And that can take years, right? Because I don't know how long a goose lives, but
Too long.
too long, right? So they keep coming back. So in theory, it would take that many years to eliminate these geese from coming back.
I know.
We haven't had good luck
Right.
at the lake.
But I mean, can we at least look into it? I know that I had spoken with, I forget, it was Terry or Kevin, I don't know. One community had put up, like I don't know what they used, but like wooden cutouts of coyotes in this area where they did not want because they didn't want the geese there. And I don't know if they sprayed them to smell like coyote or whatever, but it kept the geese out of that area. So if something, because it's disgusting.
That's actually one of the better solutions I've heard. If you just have a cardboard cutout, it scares them away. It's like ultimate scarecrow, you know?
Right.
And that'd be a nice school project, and they can mount their own, autograph the back, and if that works, that's great.
I don't know, maybe no one else, I mean, other
The
people
one
have
thing
talked
we
to me
did that
about it.
kind of worked-
Walk on the,
We hung CDs, old CDs from a string, and that light reflection from that would make the geese nervous.
so the trees in Elizabeth Park.
You could put some ornaments on them.
that, and then I'd rather put cutouts of coyotes around, you know, maybe play some coyote calls. It just,
You know, there's an idea.
Look-
Get the kind of calls and CDs, the ones that don't scare them away, we hang from the trees.
well, there's that. There you go.
Double use. Okay. Someone can check into that. Yeah, the geese are, I've got stories.
They're a nuisance. There we are.
That's why I used to bike on the trail every morning.
Well, biking, I mean, if you go on the, either on the sidewalk or the trail, any of the sidewalks, it's just like disgusting.
I've had, and I don't care where you go. I mean, I used to bike into Akron every morning and back, and through Barberton, that whole stretch there, they would be gathered around there and just taking the whole path. You go south, you run into them. Probably not as bad going south as going north. I don't know why, but
Anyway,
It-
just something
yeah.
if we could look
All right.
into seeing if we could do anything.
all right. Thank you very much. Any other new business? Council general discussion.
I did send an email to all council people with how to enter the blocked railroad track information, so hopefully everybody saw that.
Yeah, were you gonna find the QR code that maybe we could put on a sign?
The QR code would be just the link I sent you.
Oh, okay.
There's a way to generate that, but the takeaway I had from that email was how many steps it was to do it.
Wow.
It was a lot of steps.
Somebody on their phone is not gonna do that.
Maybe a computer person could have it open to our track and make it quicker. I don't know how to do that, but even when you opened up the page, it like started in Washington DC and you had to scroll over to Ohio, then blow it up so that you could see the Clinton crossings. It was a pretty clunky reporting system.
I would like to see our numbers go from 1 a year to however many there really are out there, though. So I did stop with the fire department. I talked to John, and he said he could keep track of it. So it's a matter of entering the data then once we have the numbers.
Do I need to send that to the fire department
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
for reporting?
Yeah. So, and I will be meeting with Hudson's city planner, or down here, Tom, regarding the tracks and what they did. So I'll know that in a couple of weeks. I think I'll be meeting with them. I think we've had to push out a few weeks, so I don't remember the exact date, but hopefully sometime by the end of March, I'll have a report from me on what he recommends and what he states. Keep in mind that Hudson might have a few more funds to deal with it than we do, but
Yeah.
that's you know, and I tell you, here's a general discussion item. I didn't bring this up earlier, but this is, I don't know if you guys realize this. I have this report right here. Of the number of people in the communities, we in Clinton have 1,197, and our per capita is 658.35. There's one that was smaller than us. Here it is, Peninsula. I always thought Peninsula had more people. I always thought they had more money. No, they don't.
They don't.
563 people.
And they do a lot.
They do. They have two good businesses there, two good restaurants, and they have that central stop on the trail for the California Valley National Railway.
Right.
So that surprised me. I looked over these numbers, and the Boston Township has 838. So we're not the smallest of Summit County. We are actually, I think, third, if I count these numbers correctly. Yeah, we're the third smallest with 1197.
And you know one thing Peninsula has?
What?
They have traffic cameras.
Yes. I was hoping you weren't going to say sewers, because they don't have that. That's
No,
that's
they have traffic cameras, and they make money. They fund their things with that.
Okay.
That.
I will want
The other thing with Peninsula is the average income per household is
really high.
Well, but the thing is, why we don't qualify for a lot of funding is
we're too high.
Yeah, we're too high.
It's not like the old days where everybody was like here. There's some people that are here in Clinton. So
Yeah, our house,
started everything out.
just looking when Northwest was here, the average income in Clinton is higher than Canal Fulton.
Yeah.
Which is, you never guess that. But it's the difference between Summit and Stark County too. It's a bigger county. I mean,
Right.
It's surprising, right?
Yeah.
Nobody would guess that we have a higher average income than
Less
I'll vote.
people, but they,
Well, I personally think we're a great place to live. So, all right. Any other council general discussion? Presentation of purchase orders and bills for approval.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I'm going to highlight is, I guess it's Gatchel Grant Resources. That's one of our higher bills this month. It's $1374,741.50. That's a grant. That's basically payment for grant writing on our ambulance, of which we got the grant. We only fire truck. Thank you. So we only pay if we win the grant and get the fire truck. So this is essentially the payment for that. You know, it seems like a high number, but basically it's a commission on the dollars received.
Which was like 2.8%.
Yep.
yeah, that's
It's
not
a
bad.
small fee.
That's what you gotta do if you wanna get the money.
So with that, I'd like to see a motion to accept the bills as presented, $34,632.82. I'll be the first, Ellen the second.
All right. Any questions, comments? Call for the vote.
Conrad,
Aye.
Joseph,
Aye.
Gensler,
Aye.
Steiner.
Aye.
Last item on the list, a motion for adjournment.
Oh, shit.
We haven't adjourned yet. Did you want to add something?
I did wanna add something, so this is something new that's gonna happen this year. It's still in the planning stages, but, we're planning a field trip for our fourth graders to come to visit the OVMP. And, since I'm in the government and I also am on staff, part of the tour of Clinton and incorporating this is I'm going to bring a group and bring them and show them town hall and talk about the government here. And, going to see if maybe, I don't know how much time we have, but if we have time, we'll at least look at the outside of the Harder House. We're gonna walk through downtown and, just do a little bit of history of Clinton with our fourth graders. They've done the history of Canal Fulton with the third graders for years. So this year, we're gonna start, doing a little bit of the history of Clinton and incorporating that with their learning process. So I thought that was cool.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you. Anything else before we adjourn? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thank you, everyone.